Joining me now from Washington, D.C., president and founder of Speech First, Nicole Neily. Nicole, so the snowflakes are scared now, apparently, by a 21-gun salute. What happens? Honestly, I've asked this question rhetorically to my friends who are older than the millennial generation. I say, what happens if we go to war? If I'm North Korea or Cuba or Iran, and I see a report like that, I'm going to say, unleash the bombs now. Look how weak they are.
No, it's such a disappointment. I mean, this is a time-honored tradition. I mean, not only for the University of Virginia, this is not like they're shooting off guns out of nowhere unexpectedly. This happens every year. It is something that happens on a regular basis. But also, this is a sign of respect for our veterans. This is actually not about the students. This is not about the listeners. Is it about the gesture that it is intended to show appreciation for our veterans? Right. 21 guns is kind of the highest honor you can give to people. And to just cut it off and say, well, we're worried that students are going to be offended by it or scared by it, I think it's doing students a disservice, because you know what? Sometimes they might be around a gunshot in the future, and how will you react?
It's insanity. It'll disrupt classes. Oh, really? Well, think about all the veterans who gave their lives so they could go to class now in freedom and liberty. I'll use that in air quotes because I don't know how much liberty we have. But you have some good news out of the University of Michigan. And this is a case that you brought against the University of Michigan. It's a victory for your organization, yes. It's a victory for students, yes. And it's a victory indeed for the United States Constitution. And it centers on something called bias response teams. Bias response teams. I'm pretty sure that George Orwell wrote about in 1984 bias response teams.
Yes, it was a number of creepy programs at the school that we challenged. They had a very broad definition of bullying and harassment, and then this bias response team in place that encouraged students to report on each other. So students were in the uncomfortable position of, much like what happened at the University of Virginia, students were put, the onus was on the listener. How will the listener respond to something? Not what's the intention, not what's actually going on, but if somebody's feelings are hurt, we're encouraging you to tattletale on your fellow classmates. And so what that does is it puts students in a terrible position of, if you can get in trouble for saying pretty much anything at any time, because but there is no definition of what's offensive on the school's campus, it ends up being the diversity and inclusion bureaucracy that's making that call. And so students who want to discuss controversial topics, generally politics and religion, yep, just refrain from doing so altogether.
And it was really directed at trying to silence conservative speech on campus. Let's face it, that's what all of these bias response teams and the like are all about. And now they've put something in its place. It's called what? A campus climate support. Campus climates. I don't remember. I went to school in the Stone Age, but I don't remember a campus climate support system. Sounds like global warming, but it's not, is it?
It's not, no. But it's a lot different than the bias response team in that the program before, let's say I were to file a complaint against you, you would get an email from the school that would say, come in for a meeting with us, a complaint has been made against you, and then the onus would be on you to defend yourself against some unknown accuser. Now, if I were to make a complaint against you, the school would reach out to me and they'd say, it looks like your feelings are hurt. Here, you could go talk to the counseling center. We'd direct you to some resources. But you, as the speaker, would never get called in. And so we think that it really flips the script because the program before, as it was designed, had both the purpose and the intent, as you alluded to, of chilling speech. And now this is, if somebody is offended, we'll help them, but we're not going to discourage people from talking about topics.
In other words, they had kids guilty until proven innocent, which is exactly the opposite of our legal system and jurisprudence in this republic. And the truth is, you have other battles to fight because there are bias response teams all over this country, so you have other wars to fight. Hopefully, the other campuses will get the message here, but I'm not going to hold my breath on this one. It's really unfortunate that we have to educate the educators about this pesky thing called the United States Constitution and the First Amendment. Nicole, keep up the good work. Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.